Yo, what's going on? Hey, welcome to Casually FC. Welcome to the Chelsea Hour. Welcome to therapy. That's what I'm going to call this from now on, because I've accepted that the season is essentially over. I've not gotten over yesterday's result, so we're here to vent a little bit, and also I would like to see what chat has to say about it. I never really got to talk about Wrexham either. So yeah, this will give me a minute or two to actually, like, you know, discuss that. But before we do, ladies and gents, as always, be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Helps out the YouTube algorithm more than you could believe. More than you could believe. And subscribe to the channel, please, because it helps us out. We grow the community here a little bit, get to see some new faces, have some different types of discussions, and yeah, it makes the channel all the more interesting. And shout out to everyone who is new here. You know, a little round of applause for new subscribers as well, because yeah, you guys have been showing up, and everything, all the work the chat's been doing, it's reflected on the channel. So my greatest gratitude to that. But yeah, memberships as well, guys. I see JC, big up to you. Thank you for becoming a new member, or a returning member, I should say. So thank you for becoming a returning member. Be sure to enjoy your emojis and all that stuff. And yes, I got the trim. You know what it is? I realized yesterday that I just need a fresh start. You know what I mean? I was getting a little grizzly there at the end there. I'm not gonna lie. It was getting a little grizzly at the end there. But I was like, you know what? The weather's finally nice. Let me go outside. Let me actually, you know, clean up, because I gotta start, like, actually, you know, I gotta get a restart. So from now on, I'm not Marshall. Just call me Raul, and we're just gonna pretend that all of this season didn't happen. We're gonna pretend this whole entire season that just occurred did not happen, because it's been such a nightmare of a season. I can't complain that much, because, you know, Spurs and all that, and that. Oof, brother, oof. Their season is looking grim. So I would hate to be them. But yeah. Oh man, where to even start with all this stuff? With everything that happened. Yeah, I've not had a chance to even, like, look at the quotes, but I already heard part of what he said and all that stuff, and he takes accountability. But here's the thing, like, oh my God, there you go. The PR is already out and about. If you guys need me to read anything on here, just let me know. But anyways, I think that there's no hope for this season. Genuinely, I do. We're cooked. We're cooked, man. I just don't. Okay. So I'll start off with this. Let's try to be positive, okay? Let's try to be positive. I'm gonna do my best here. But this is like devil's advocate, kind of trying to be positive here. The attack is improving, right? The attack is improving. Yesterday, you listen to the majority of people speak on the game, and the majority of people were convinced that Chelsea were gonna either draw or come out with a win. And I think Enzo had a great performance. Again, these are just my opinions based on what I saw. I think Enzo had a great performance. Yes, Jorgensen, for as risky as the passes he was trying to make for the first 70-ish minutes or so, he didn't do the stupid error that led to the third goal. And then we also came back and scored a third goal that got taken back, right? So we were in the fight and we just capitulated at the end. Now the tie is done. But obviously, you know, that's great and all. So attacking wise, we look better. And defensively, we have what we have. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We just need to improve on it, hopefully. And we still need a keeper. But there's a whole dynamic going on in this dressing room that I'm not a big fan of. And it has a lot to do with what happened yesterday. But in terms of the positives, like, Cole looks a little better. Neto was getting into spaces. Like, there was good attacking football from us. And so there is that positive. Like, again, I don't think Liam is necessarily a bum. Because if you have seen previous Casually FC content, then you know I have sat down and spoken on Strasbourg and watched some of their games. I don't watch them as much as Chelsea, obviously, but I like, to an extent, it gives me a reason to broaden my horizons to other leagues, obviously. And also kind of see what players could potentially come down this pipeline, right? Because again, if you've accepted, very much in a US fashion, we made a pipeline of players coming by. This ownership does not want to depend on finding players that can fix an issue now, but building a team that can fix itself with options of players coming through a pipeline. That's kind of what the best positive way I can spin it. To be fair, that's somewhat what it does. The other thing it does is also flip, invest, make profit, right? So there's that. It's just like a weird, disgusting, like, meat packing machine. Just like, hey man, hey, that's a wait, hold on.
Hey yo,
that's an AO. And just trying to like streamline these youngsters coming up. We're trying to be Dortmund on steroids. And I hate to see it because you look at the options off the bench yesterday. Obviously, the manager's also, his hands are a little tight on that. But hey, there's no reason you should have waited to the 80th minute to make changes that you had to make, right? And even then, I mean, there are changes, the substitutes that they have, Kvara off the bench. Those are the types of players that we should have at Chelsea. Those are the types of players those are the types of options we should have. So we don't have the squad depth that in the beginning of the summer we kind of all thought we had. So where the manager fucks up for me is the decision of going for Jurgensen. Now, that's about all the positives I got. And maybe, just maybe, when Santos is in there, or we figure out another formation, maybe we can do something in the Premier League. Just at this point, it's just a top 5. Like, hope for Champions League football next season. Because to an extent, I agree. There's not really anything we can do in this situation to get these owners out. The people who want to protest, they're all talk, no bite. And honestly, it's like what's been said before. It's honestly on the match-going fans. And until the match-going fans start to see the club go upside down and like really be in like those dark ages of Graham Potter or whatever the fuck, I don't think they're gonna even try to protest. I'm not gonna lie to you. The protest that happened this year, I think was worse than the initial protest. That's how bad it is. And that's how like vocal the online fan base is, obviously. But when you go to the games, even in the bad form we were in January, like I told you guys, it's the vibes are like, we're still back in the club. We love Chelsea. This is our club, you know? They still sing their songs and all that, and most of the fan base are more aware of it, but it comes from an angle of like, this, why are you against the team? Why is this only based off of results, really? So it's comp, and I also don't think the English can do a proper. That's an American thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, we protest, man. It's in our blood. That's just all I'm gonna say. We protest. It's in our blood, man. So it's just like we got a knack for it, but the British maybe not. But even then, That's what's gonna take to get anything to change in this club. And we're kind of stuck in a situation where we are. We just gotta hope that something will accidentally occur. That's the way I see it. So when we talk about the manager and what happened yesterday, the decision to start Jorgensen was ballsy as shit. And I get it. This is what managers do all the time. Like, they have egos as well, right? They want to so badly stand for what they believe in. Like, really, really believe in their formation and their system and their tactical prowess. And even when it gets really, really bad, still stick with it. Balls to the wall. I will not change. I will not falter. All that kind of stuff. You know, like... And you have nights like last night where your decision to drop Robert Sanchez after... Don't get me wrong. And this is where we need to have a proper conversation, because I've never been Robert Sanchez's biggest fan. I say this all the time, but there were certain games in the past where he got way more flack than he needed to, and he wasn't even necessarily the issue. He got scapegoated a lot, rightfully so to an extent, because some moments he had so many bozo moments last season that it was very hard to trust him. Very hard to trust him. So I get it. So the overanalyzation of him was through the roof. Like, every little, if the pass was 2 degrees off, obtuse. If he was passing obtuse, criticism. Now it's calmed down a lot more. But in the recent games, it's, again, the ego of, I want to play my way. Hold up. You know what? It's moments like this where I just like... I just need Arthur, okay? It's moments like this where he comes out and says, no, I want to play my way. I'm not going to bother looking back and trying to do what Maresca did again and all this shit. I'm just going to play the way I want to play. And so, because you're so obsessed, like Maresca was when he came in, with passing out the back, you put your keepers in a situation where they're going to make mistakes. You put Robert Sanchez in a situation where he's going to make mistakes. Lo and behold, 2 + 2 is 4. Then you drop him after having arguably been one of our players of the season and the least of our problems, an actual voice in the back, right? Someone, a presence in the locker room, like a senior person in the locker room, right? He's not like the most experienced, and I'm not trying to put him in like that, but he stepped up this season, just like we ask our players to do. We ask of our players to step up. Neto, step the fuck up, because you are a much better player, at least in the summer, than you are right now. And to be fair, the last 2-3 games, I don't think he's been that terrible. He's actually finally stopped getting on my nerves. Ever since that stupid card, he's finally stopped getting on my nerves. João Pedro, he was going through a little bit of a lull, and he stepped up. We ask our players to step up. And you don't think it was weird in that locker room when he got dropped against PSG? The same PSG that him, with this team, barring Chalaba, went and done it. Went and got the result. The 3-0. Robert Sanchez was just as much as part of that game as the rest of the 10 in front of him. The save to Dembele, the save to Doué. He kept us in that game. He showed what he could do on a good day. That's the Rob Sanchez we want to show up. And that Rob Sanchez has been here more consistently this season than last, obviously. He's turned it around since. And yes, he's made mistakes. We get it. The United situation. And you go back to the stream, I argued Chalaba put him in a really fucking shitty situation there. Because Chalaba also missed his header. Robert Sanchez panicked. Why? Because that's what Robert Sanchez is. We know what he is. You can't get him panicking. He fucking falters like a fish. So you put him in situations where he's more comfortable. You don't strictly tell him, pass out the back, pass out the back. You tell him, like, all right, whatever you see fit. When you see the pass short, go short. If you see it long, go long. And he did have a good long pass. But no, we're going to scrap that so that Jurgensen can play. Maybe because he's upset. He wanted to leave in January. Didn't get his move. Probably didn't get his move because he hasn't played a fucking single game. And now he wants to play. And again, some of the passes were risky. But he did, you can't say he didn't look comfortable on the ball. Like, he looked comfortable passing it around. Once he fucking conceded the stupid error, he just lost his mind. But he was cocky. He was arrogant about it. And that's another thing that, too, oh my God, that pissed me off. But besides the point, going to that point, literally, you put him on, and you ask of him to do this, which you ask of Robert Sanchez, and he wasn't good. And now you're seeing that Jurgensen is not good enough. He can't even save. Bro, biscuit hands. At least Rob can give you a good save every now and again. He's not as good at shot stopping as Donnarumma or Courtois, but he's not bad either. Definitely not a bad shot stopper. And a cross collector. Like every fucking good goalkeeper we've ever had. It's just like, it's simple sometimes, the game, and we try to overcomplicate it. And Maresca comes in and says, you know what? I tried to overcomplicate it. I'm going to go back to simple. Get the best out of whatever you can get. Internal solutions. Yes, we weren't scoring a lot of goals. I understand that. The football at times was fucking boring. But god damn it, for our defense to have been as shit as it is now, and looking back at the results we were having before, it's night and fucking day. Clearly, one outlier here has changed. Besides Levi Colwell, and even he's not involved in this equation, it's the fact that different manager was actually doing the best to mitigate that error and plaster it, that big ass crack we have in our team, plaster it, spackle it, only for Liam to come in here and say, reopen it. I just want to remind you how big this fucking gap is. Fuck. So, I'm ranting. Again, I'm sorry, but this is how this game made me feel. This is now my lack of belief in the team. So, again, this is a manager who's not mitigating or diminishing the weaknesses in the team. And some players, like I said, have begun to fall off a little bit too. It makes me, like, situations like this make me want Carlo to come back, like Don Carlo. Like, if Don Carlo is ever an option, Clear Lake, please just make it happen. If he's easy to work with, just make it happen. I know that's a pipe dream. I know you like pipes and pipelines and all that shit, but you blocked that one. All right, I know it's a pipe dream. But a manager like Don Carlo that can just play players in their fucking positions, get the best out of them, and mitigate the weaknesses would be fantastic. And this team would be actually good. We actually now have rotation. And that's another thing I'm going to mention. I'm not trying to... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to even word it this way. But Wrexham, it looked nice to... One positive about that Wrexham game was it looked nice to finally have midfielders come on that are fit. It looked nice to not have Enzo there anymore, or have Caicedo. Like, it was nice. Players got a break, and we were able to. To be fair, I think Moy played that game. Moy did play that game, but to be able to rest players. Isugo comes on, gets 2 assists. Lavia comes on, looks pretty decent, but it's Wrexham. You're supposed to. To be fair, Isugo coming back from injury, first time playing in the team, and gets thrown straight into there. Like, again, he was okay. Like, he wasn't breaking the world. He wasn't pulling Moises Caicedo, but he was solid. He was solid, and he got 2 assists as well. So, yeah, I was content with that performance. But other than that, no, the fucking, oh my god, the result. But regardless, back to this game. And then the thing is, you have Rosenior coming out saying he's my number one. You drop Sanchez. Not only, it's again, you don't think that turns heads in the locker room? Saying what is going on? You don't think that makes things awkward? You don't think that creates some type of friction? Especially yesterday. Look at how Enzo reacted to that match. Or not even that match, like at Jurgensen's mistakes. The past mistakes he was making, all that stuff. Yelling at him. And then Jurgensen wanted to just cower away in the locker room and not face the fans. Ignored Reece James as well. That's another big one. I was like, wow, you're ignoring the captain, the gaw, the absolute gaw. Like, show some goddamn respect. And I really hope some of these players really reflect on tonight and really reflect on the headlines and what's being said about them, because it's just defensively not good enough. You have to wake the fuck up. Ownership, if they want to compete, they need to wake the fuck up. I really hope at the end of the season, I don't see PR saying, oh, give us the benefit of the doubt. It's our first UCL back in years, a very young team. Blue Co were expecting a short, Champions League campaign. Their main focus was top 4 and returning into UCL football and building off of that. Again, it's nightmares. It's a reoccurring nightmare at times, because then I have to go into the transfer window, and we don't have to do that again. I've talked about that so much already. The transfer window being absolute trash. I was wrong about that center back situation as well. I mentioned that in the beginning of the season. I realized this defense is not good, and it's falling apart as we speak as well, because the season isn't just a few games. The season is 40 plus games for these players. They're fucking tired. So no shit that at the end of the season, some of these defenders are just run down to the ground and they look even worse than they are. So, oh my God. It's looking grim. It's looking grim. At least Jurgensen got stopped by Rob Sanchez as well. I'll mention that. And pulled out to applaud the fans. But that locker room is now getting a little messy. And due to obviously the recruitment, but just due to the stupid decisions that the manager made. And it's sometimes like, you look at the manager or the coach, Liam. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like I said, I liked the football I was watching at Strasbourg when Liam was there. I thought there was something good there. And I think even at times, the way we break through the middle, the way we bait out opponents and break the lines through the middle yesterday, attacking wise, like, we were doing a really good job of it. Enzo was like, when Enzo was given the space, he was making those diagonal passes, the one turn passes, one touch passes that cut through the midfield. And we looked really good. But brother, you need to figure out a way to like get that defense sorted out, because you can't keep conceding goals like this. And that defense honestly looks similar to what I saw at Strasbourg. But besides the point, what I'm trying to get at is that it's not like I've wanted him out since the beginning because Maresca was gone. Like, I do want him to work out. But honestly, brother, you've not shown me anything to believe that you could actually start getting a result. And as of right now, I'm not believing. And there's still that speculation in the back of my head that, is he actually picking the team? Like, I am paranoid that he's not picking the team. The medical staff is telling me who he has to rotate. Obviously, that's part of it. But there's other institutions where you can disregard that. And it's at your own risk. But it seems like that's heavily not an option. So it's all this rotation and shit. Like, I can only hope that at the end of the season, we magically stumble upon players. I'll be so real with you guys. There's a part of me that thinks there is that chance that they've been pretty quiet lately. As far as the news goes, we've not been hearing about links really that much. The Anderson links have slowed down. The Wharton links have slowed down. And so it makes you wonder, like, is there business going on in the background that is just gonna come out of left field, right field, whatever? It's something to think about in the back of your head. But regardless, maybe that happens, and for whatever reason, next season just turns out to be better. I don't believe, though. I just know that's an option. That could be something that happens. You never know. But regardless, what I believe is going to happen is we're going to fluff it again. We're going to fluff all these transfer windows, and stumble upon good players along the way. And God only knows if we're going to still have good players around those good players, or a well-built team to take advantage of said good players. So that's the other concern. But yeah, it just sucks, because now at this point, now we're out of the UCL, all for this experimenting, all for this lack of homework. To an extent, I also feel like Liam likes it. To an extent, he likes the attention. You see the way he speaks in these press conferences. He almost speaks for the ownership as well. Like, he's one of those guys that strikes me as he's happy to say whatever the hell he's told to do. He's corporate Arthur, pretty much. Yes, this guy, man. It's just, as soon as the ownership walked by, this is...
Okay, today was my dream game, my first trophy, man of the match, two goals. The gaffer is very good.
So yeah, fucking A. I really hope something happens, because at this point, like I said, guys, we're done. We're done. We're just in the top. You were in the UCL race, pretty much. And I hope we can get something. That's the only hope I have left for the season. UCL is done. I don't think we're going to do anything in the FA Cup. And so this is going to be a really disappointing season, but we might get lucky. We might get lucky. Again, I reference this, lucky. It's not like we have bad players. We have good players. But defensively, we just got to hope we don't make mistakes. And that depends on the day. Genuinely. It fucking sucks. It really blows. And some players have fallen, like, they can tell they're tired. Some players are being played in positions they're not comfortable in, and they've been diminished. Like, it's just, again, it's a weird situation. This is just, we're in limbo, essentially. We're in the weird, just limbo of maybe, I don't want to say mediocre. I feel like it's a little harsh, but sometimes it is mediocre. It's not like Potchball. Potchball there was nothing. At least with Rosenior ball, you can tell there's something there. There's like a tactic, but he's just stubborn and doesn't want to change it up until he has to learn the hard way. When his job is on the line, then he switches it up. So we'll see. Maybe it happens in the league, but ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna read through some chats, guys. My bad. I was going off there for a little bit, but I feel better, and I hope maybe some of you guys understand too. Like, agree. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Big up Daniel Knights, big up. I'm convinced in 2 or 3 seasons we'll be fighting in relegation scraps. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. Jurgensen will be starting again. I also hope not. But actually, chat, that's the other thing too. What would you do in that situation? Now that you just fucked up that whole goalkeeper dynamic, do you play Jurgensen again? Or do you just give the mantle back to Sanchez, and kind of his confidence is fucked too, because he got dropped when he was on one of his better forms. So big up, y'all. Make sure to like and sub up. RSM, big up, brother. Stream elements. Casually F.C. I know this is a Chelsea hour, but you got to speak about the news that came out. I want to speak on it. Oh shit, what news came out? Oh, that's what I'm reading right now. Let me read this real quick. This seems like a big, obviously something happens. When we got big results like this, people, shit always happens. Shit always happens with PR and bullshit. We just love the attention. So let me read this. Major breaking. A group of fans met with a club director recently and said they were met with arrogance and dismissiveness. Sure, I believe that. On the departure of Maresca, the director said that the coach's overall impact is overestimated and that there is no statistical relationship between managers and results. Okay, sure, guy. According to the board director, problems with Maresca stem from him not being offered some of the same contract details that the sporting directors have in place. Fair enough. I think that's fair. They don't deserve shit. Maresca did all the work. Oh, this is gonna be a big one for Casually FC. I'm gonna try to do a Casually FC this weekend. The director could not put a timeline on when Chelsea will compete at the top again. Oh, great! But that it was fucking obvious we are building one of the best teams in the world. Okay, sure. Sure, my guy. The director denied they were being condescending and told us we have no more right to be upset than they do, despite the fact we are paying fans. Okay. Fuck off, dude. The club's effort to reduce the wage bill has been seen as a means of offsetting the spend on players so far, and the director was honest about there being no appetite to compete for more established Premier League signings for this reason. A handful of players that have been successful for us were given as some sort of justification for this approach. Of course they were going to say that. The club direct. How long is this? Okay, we're almost done. The club's effort to reduce the wage bill has been seen as a means of offsetting the spend on players so far, and the director was honest about there being no appetite to compete for more established. I read this already. Okay, so I have to see a handful of players that have been successful over us. So justification. Okay, great. Whatever, bro. A club director spoke very disrespectfully about what was achieved under the previous ownership and of individuals involved in that time. In their view, the current project, consisting of vast expenditure and player churn, is the only means in which we can hope to compete at an elite level at some point in the future. Y'all some bitches. Chelsea simply cannot afford to compete for the... Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why we can't afford to compete with them. I wonder why. Because you spent money on fucking Garnacho. Because you spent money on fucking... Overspent money on Jamie Gittins. Because you fucking went out and got Rory Delap's son. I don't even want to call him by his first name. You went out and got Badiashile. You went out and you got fucking Tosin. You went out and you got fucking... Who else did we get that's fucking useless? I guess Pedro Neto too. Fuck it. Why not? Throw him. He's been shit. Like, what's the point of gay? Like, or Giu, sorry. Wrong complicated G name. So, it's like, oh my God, the lack of self-awareness is insane at the top. I want what they're smoking. The club director expressed surprise that, in the view of the club, still being 13 points... How are you going to spin this, bro? How are you going to spin this? Please enlighten me. The club director expressed surprise that, in view of the club still being 13 points off the top of the table at the time, this has risen to 19 points at the time of writing. In the fourth season of a transitional period, fans are not showing more patience, although the directors admitted they hoped for more progress this season. Transitional period, bro? That's essentially what I was just saying, right? They're gonna say, oh, it's our first time in UCL, and we're finding out what players are gonna work, and nah, we're squad building and shit. So goddamn, bro, like, oh man, oh God, okay. These guys are going to give me an aneurysm. Okay. Luis Enrique would not be the right fit for us as a manager, and John Terry is not the right fit professionally and should not be involved in the first team. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. Nah. Oh my God, there's more. Oh my God, there's more. Okay. After arriving for the meeting, we were kept waiting in the foyer of the building for a while as the club director was in another meeting with Chelsea supporting All right. Now this is getting into dangerous territory, right? Now this is getting into dangerous territory. I need to wait to see if this is more confirmed. I'm going to do my research over the weekend. But yeah, that's us, you know? So what's that about? I would like to believe that Matisse was giving them an earful, right? So this is another one that's kind of wild. Once the meeting began, it became very clear to us early on that the club's primary motivation for the meeting was to, in effect, present us a sales pitch and attempt to talk to us around their way of thinking. So at no point listening to what fans had to really say, just trying to convince and sell the project. Sell the product. Yeah, whatever, bruv. Whatever, bruv. We were told in no uncertain terms that despite having the highest net spend in the Premier League on new players since Blue Coast takeover, that the club is struggling to compete financially with Europe's top clubs. Yeah, and that's going to be... Okay, so we got clarification here. Damn, that's wild. This is like kind of insane. Okay, so Matisse wrote this. Wow, there's a lot here, people. Jesus, what did Matisse write? Just to clarify, yes, Daniel Finkelstein invited me to a meeting along with other fans around the time of protest to shed some light on, answer to the many problems we have in the ownership, from commercial deals to lack of front of shirt, first team and multi-club model purchases via directors, vivid seats, stadium plans, heavy briefing, CFC London marketing, and nepotism in staff hires across the club. It was a good conversation, and he was very kindly clear that he did not invite me to manipulate, change my opinion on the ownership, just to explain their point of view and plan. Since then, my opinion of Blueco out has not changed. I do not trust the recruitment of the directors. I don't praise the short-term front of shirt, and mentioned the money lost over the last 2 seasons with the 60 million asking price. They are in a deficit. I didn't mention it as there's no new information that we didn't already know. The club are stubborn with their approach, think they're heading in the right direction, and will continue with what they're doing. I have no interest in being ITK. I'm a fan with opinions that won't change until I see serious improvement at all levels of the club, which I don't see happening. So as I said months ago when Maresca was sacked, Blue Co out, I'm not in the game of repeating myself. If my stance changes, I'll say so. Fair play. I mean, I get it, and that's kind of what I thought was being said. That's wild, dude. Holy shit. Well, that'll be something we'll talk about on Casually FC, because holy crap, that was a lot. Yeah, man. A lot of that's not good. We're heading into a dark time, and like I said, people, we just gotta hope we stumble upon shit. At this point, just stumble upon shit. And then hopefully one day, like it'll work out. I'm hoping that next season we see a better team with Rosenior, because that's another thing too, guys. Like, you put him in a situation as well. This ownership put him in a situation as well where like he just has to make do what he has and try to get results. And I think our owners were given the benefit of the doubt. If we don't make Europe next season, they're not looking to sack him. As long as he cooperates like a good boy, we'll be fine. That's what they wanted. And again, it's proven by the fact that it seemed like Maresca was willing to cooperate up until the directors got a boost, a bonus, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, we're not gonna go for a center back anymore, even though my center back just went down. You were going for Hoyson earlier in the summer. Oh, the deals aren't there. The stocks aren't there. So like that's why we'll see what happens in summer. It's gonna be it's do or die, really. It's really do or die in the summer, and I'm worried it's going to die. So let's see. I'll keep reading chat. Sorry guys, I'll catch up to everyone. I'll read all the chats before I head out, and we'll talk more. They just buy more kids. Let's be real. Only getting worse. We'll wish we still had this backline soon. That could be the issue. That could be the situation too. We need to go inside Maignan. I agree, but it won't happen. He already got a new deal. Not Cole is done for the season. Might be just one season wonder if this dog shit form continue. I don't even think Cole was that bad yesterday, to be honest. PYS tweet is something else. I can't lie. Oh, so that's what I just read. Sorry, guys. I wish I saw that sooner. Gary O'Neill pipeline. 100%. Gary O'Neill pipeline coming in. Coming on through. Big up EE. Big up everyone. Sorry, I'm catching up with the chat now. We don't do defeatist mentality like them sides. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I 100%. I listen. I understand. At the end of the day, against PSG in the return leg, I'm not going to be upset if we don't win. That's already happened, right? Just give me a good performance. Just give me a good performance. Like, actually try. And maybe a miracle comes off. Maybe. It's a miracle, guys. Like, this isn't the same team that I believed in when it was with Tuchel. and we had to win by 3 goals. 4. We got to win by 4, or at least take it to penalties. Nah. It just won't happen. We'll see. Because all the Premier League teams had some shit results. Only Newcastle and Arsenal were okay. Like, they could still come back and make it. Well, Newcastle, not so much. They have to go to the Bernabeu. Not the Bernabeu, I'm sorry. Barcelona's ground. Why am I forgetting Barcelona's ground? Wow. Just disappeared like that. Anyways, Camp Nou. So, yeah. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Just have a good performance at this point. And try to fight for Europe. I'm here, Lord of Maresca Mafia. Marshall, you fraud. Said I'm not subscribed. Fresh trim, Marshall, taking that baddie. Taking that. Yes. Welcome back, Kalis. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you. That was a sacco offense, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a big strike one. I'm not gonna lie. Subscribe, ladies and gents. Let's keep it going. PYS Street is crazy. The club is finished. Yeah, I just read that. Literally, one of the last times I did the show was Maresca got sacked. It was wild. So it was a very real time show. Let's see. It's Groundhog Day, and they will carry on till we realize it's a loop. A money-making loop? Well, if it's making money. Corsier and Blue Co. see this is a big stage to put the assets on view. I genuinely... There's like an agent... Yeah, I genuinely feel like we're trying to get like players' values. Like, they're treating it like a stock market. And I ain't gonna lie. I hung out with RSM and Ahmed a little bit, and my eyes were opened about Kalshi and shit. Oh my God. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. You know what? Tinfoil hat, Casually FC. Let's do it. We don't have money for proper players. Yeah, of course we don't. Nah, man. We'll be Morgan Rogers 80 million. Probably, and I don't want that. Flawless. Damn, bro. Why Flawless gotta see me like this, bro? Damn, actually no. To be fair. Hold on. I knew Flawless during my Potch days. Never mind. He's seen me at worse. But yeah, things aren't going so things aren't very fair weather over here at Casually FC, Flawless. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you've heard. But big up, man. Welcome. I see you smoking the Blue Co delusion crack. This project is dead and fuck Blue Co. Damn. It's clearly the crack ain't hitting hard enough, because I wish I was in like cloud 9 right now and not thinking about this club, to be fair with you. So no, I'm not in any delusion that it'll happen. It's just a thought. It's just, hey, maybe this could happen. If you want hopium, it's right there. Go ahead and get it yourself, because I'm going over here to the real side of, we're not gonna do shit this season. We're probably not making Europe, and next season is gonna be a rebuild season. I put a question mark on it, because who the fuck knows what the directors are gonna do, but they're not gonna change. So we're gonna have more mediocrity with maybe some improvements somewhere, but more issues somewhere else now. So it's like, it's not as simple as do 1, do 2. Like, oh man, we're cooked. Big up the beautiful game. Big up everybody. Year 4. Yeah. We understand. Yeah. I hope you guys. Fuck no. Play Sanchez. Oh yeah, because I asked you guys. Yeah, no, play Sanchez. I'm with it. Just play Sanchez. There's no reason to just continue on with Jurgensen just because you want to play out the back. Stop being stubborn, bro. Just keep it safe. When you have the players to play out the back, then use them. But don't try to fucking fit a square peg into a round hole. Like, stop fucking around with Chelsea. Just get results, please. Please, just get results. I had high hope. Guys, you know how much this UCL meant to me. I had high hopes for it. I said we were going to win it. I came out with chest saying we were going to win it. Like, Bro, after that Club World Cup, I was convinced Chelsea were going to win it. Okay? I think most of us were on a high as well from it. And this season, losing Levi Colwill was the domino effect for everything to happen the way it did. So that sucks. And that's shit recruitment. You're building a tower with matchsticks and one little thing and it all falls apart. That's how this club feels like it's being built. It's not good. So we need to fucking fix up. Sanchez for the rest of the season, then Penders next. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I got you, RSM. Did I not? Wait a minute. Who the fuck did I say what's up to then? Was that not you? I thought I did. Yeah, I did. Got me tripping. All right, anyways. Big up Jose. Crazy, what a load of bullshit. Yeah, that's a lot. What I read there was a lot. To be honest, doesn't matter which keeper plays. I completely disagree with this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think you need someone that can man a back line, which, again, I'm not gonna say Sanchez is the answer. All right, it's now shown that our managers want to play a certain way, and Sanchez is holding them back. Maresca wanted to play out the back too. So did Rosenior. And we just don't have the goalkeeper for it. So we need that goalkeeper. Magnan was the answer, and we didn't go for it. So Penders might be the solution next season. So Sanchez is gone regardless. But if you have Sanchez, at least bring out the best of him, right? And you'll be able to shore up a little bit better in the defense. Don't put him in situations where he's gonna fuck around and find out, because he fucked around and he found out. So did Jurgensen. He found out real quick yesterday. Not gonna lie, we need a banner. What do you mean, like we need a banner? Like Chelsea, like Casually FC needs a banner at the bridge? Yo, I'd be down for that, but I wouldn't pay for that on my own. Chat would have to pay for that. But what do you mean by we need a banner? A blue coat out banner? There's plenty of those. Garnacho, damn, it's like a ghost. Flawless deadass be like a ghost right now, and just spewing random words to trigger me. Excuse me, sir. We don't need to talk about Garnacho, who actually didn't play that bad against, as expected, as fucking. It's against freaking Wrexham, but he didn't play that bad against Wrexham. I hope he's turning it around. Man. Marshall, I'm tired of saying the same thing, but I really hate this ownership so much. Natalie, I'm there with you. Sometimes I don't even want to do the YouTube thing because I'm like, yo, I can't keep. I feel insane, people. I told my barber today, yo, bro, you're the last defender. And he looked at me. He's like, what are you talking about? When you see me 1v1 and I try to get past you and tell you to give me a buzz cut, you must stop me. Because I just want to, like, that's how crazy this team's got me feeling at times. Guy, I'm not joking, guys. Like, my hand actually hurts because I punched the wall yesterday after that 5th goal, bro. I was so mad. And, you know, I be hitting the gym recently, so I'm just, like, extra aggressive. Whoa. I was angry. That game pissed me off, as it pissed all of you off too. I've already accepted how the season's gonna go. Like, I was already on the fence on the decision of Rosenior now, but like that just already made it clear and just made me like, okay, we're just like, I still want the team to win. I want to be proven wrong, and when I don't get proven wrong, it makes me mad. So it's just like, it sucks, man. That game sucks. No midfield depth on top of that. Well, we need these players to stay fit. Let's see how the rest of the season goes with the midfield. But I would need thank you. I hope you appreciate the soundboard, guys. I'm trying to update it a little bit more. But yeah, I hope that in the summer we see what's up. Every season is a transitional season under this management. True. I hate it. Nah, sack these sporting directors right now. I hope they get pressured big time. I hope they get pressured big time. Yeah, I saw that he addressed it. Let me in on the stream real quick, bro. Yeah, I got you. Hold up. Damn. I hope you're still there. Sorry, I was catching up on chat. Where is my WhatsApp? Bruh. Boom, 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 boom. Bear with me, people. We'll let RSM in on this, because I would like to go a little back and forth on this whole tweet. That was wild. Smash the like, people. I just asked Matisse to confirm, comment on his Big Six live stream going on right now. He sat silent for 4 minutes. I think, thinking to ask in super chat. You're probably gonna have to ask in super chat. This shit won't change much. Prepare yourself for more ass players. Yeah, probably. Bear with me, RSM. My shit's loading. If I don't see a proper transfer window, then I'm done with this club. The thing is, I don't think we're going to get a proper transfer window. I truly believe we're going to get the same similar window that we got this season. And it's just like a lottery. Like this lottery, we just fucking fumbled. And it ended up being worse players than we thought. The next lottery might be mid. The next lottery might be somewhat better. But then the lottery after that is, oh, fuck, we got bad players again. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best. I'm sick of it. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. Oh, there we go. My beat. There you go. I don't pay attention to my phone when I'm streaming and I'm hosting. Y'all don't understand. Hosting is tough, and I'm trying to read everyone's chat and all that stuff. It's a hard time. At least Levi is back soon. Yeah, I told you people he's gonna come back before the end of the season. Will he play? Maybe. Play some games, but I ain't trying to push him. He ain't gonna save our season. Big up Logic, big up. Fofana shouldn't be near the starting 11 in Champions League. They should play Sar because he knows PSG. Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, play Sar. I just know he's gonna make mistakes and people are gonna get tired of him. They're gonna say, why isn't Fofana? It's gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be a tug of war. Like, they're just all mid at this point. It's called Spotify Camp Nou. Oh, true. Spotify Camp Nou. You're right. Yeah. Why flawless here, bro? Well said, I do. The club will be in relegation fodders in 2 seasons. You heard it here first, folks. Shirchinho 05. The club will be in relegation fodder in 2 seasons. Let's see what happens. Maybe. But, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think we're that far out. We might get Sunderland keeper. I keep hearing about that. I don't want to believe that rumor. Like, I feel like, because it's like Talk Sport or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know if it's true, bro. American owners are ruining the sport. Yeah. To an extent, yeah, I see it. It's not even just the lack of ownership. It's the lack of understanding the culture. I think that's the big one. I feel like a lot of these American owners... Listen, my stance on this has changed so much in the last 4 years. But my stance on these American owners are like, what's up, RSM? They don't understand the culture. They don't understand how, like, much ingrained into people's lives football is in the UK. And to them, it's just a commodity. But for people, it's like, this is something we do to entertain ourselves as part of our culture. Like how Romans had, gladiators and colosseums and stuff. Like, this is part of the culture. And it's being taken and just turned into a money-making machine. Which is not a very functional money-making machine, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I to an extent, I get it. But yeah, run up the likes. Thank you, Pure Romero. What are you saying, RSM, man? Big up, bro. No, I was gonna let you catch up on all the game, but there was a lot of shit there. God damn.
Yeah, I was gonna let you catch up on all the comments and then we can discuss, because I know people would have been talking in the comments.
Okay, I got you. Let me just do that. I'm almost done. I'd sell Palmer first. I'm used to Lampard doing it every season. Why would you sell Palmer? I'd sell Palmer first. I don't know about that. I don't know about selling Palmer. Marshall, I hate LSG more than I hate Asna or United, and yesterday broke me. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was pretty pissed off about that. Marshall, life as a content creator could be worse, bro. Think about it. Supporting Spursy who actually go
Yeah,
down,
it's dark,
bro. Yo, he called his mom on stream.
Did you see after that he called his brother? He called Rance and said you have to do Mother's Day because I'm not buying her anything. He was like, it was mad funny. He was like, I love her and she deserves gifts, but I am not buying her anything, bro. You have to do it this year. It's
yeah,
funny,
I
bro.
saw. Oh my,
That's
it's
hilarious,
too funny,
man.
bro. That guy's not real. I didn't punch a wall, unfortunately. Actually, I was done as soon as the lap changed. Palmer, okay. So the outcome was anticipated. I wasn't that. Okay, I get you. Marshall Wise. Nobody mentioned the fact that Reese could actually leave if we continue like this. Plus, I'm sure he has less than 18 months left on his deal. He already came out and said he's not leaving the club. That's
He's a
why.
Chelsea
We'll
for lifer, bro. It's
Yeah,
a toxic
we'll go over it
relationship.
on the
We're
weekend.
shit, but he loves us.
I feel so bad for the guy, bro. Big up Teach Marshall. We're still calling me a Teach. All right, cool. By the way, Newcastle at home is going to be very toxic. I'm hoping the players mentally lock in. Ooh,
Yep.
Yeah, Jurgensen, lock in, bro. Lock in. Hey, big up RSM. RSM also looking clean. We both cleaned up, bro. We both cleaned up good. Riz, what the hell, bro? It's all Trump's fault. Yeah, fair enough, man. Football is religion in the UK. Yeah, pretty much. It's very much like people grow up on it. Like I understand why like championship and shit like that is still relevant. Like there's so many football clubs and there's so much history revolving that in the UK. So I get it. It's totally different animal. That trip to the UK changed my perspective on football so much. Marshall, at least you can wake up knowing the satisfaction that you're not a Spurs fan. This is true. I'm happy I'm not a Spurs fan. Yeah, RSM, what'd you think of that shit, man? Because do we even know who Not a Project CFC is? Is this just like...
So it's yeah, so I think there's two parts, right? There's two parts to the article and the news that dropped. So we'll address the first part, which is what this group was said. So this is like a group of fans, like pitch owners, match going
put
fans,
the
like for
tweet
years
on the screen.
Yeah. So these guys are obviously like have a big voice in terms of they are a voice for the match going fans, they're a voice for the pitch owners. So the group is reputable, right? It's recognizable, and that's why this is like a big thing that came out. Like this is like they're not lying about this. Is pretty much what I'm getting at, right? Like this is something that definitely happened. And in the article itself, so this is key. This is key for what we're going to discuss in terms of the second part of this article. But this happened in February. So I think immediately, I think right before the Brentford game in February is when this meeting took place. And so with the meeting itself, I don't necessarily, I think that overall we kind of knew this, but I think being told directly and getting some direct quotes is really baffling. I think the quotes saying there's no relationship between manager and results is kind of crazy when we all know that you can literally have the same team, have a new manager come in and the team was completely different, right? That is a manager having a direct impact on the results. Like this is not because if this, and the thing is like, I think these guys sincerely think that we're stupid, and the arrogance that they speak of is the arrogance that like we're some idiotic masses that will just take what they say at face value and not question it. Because anybody knows that if this were the case, why sack a manager then? Right? Why let Pochettino go? Why blame him? Why even put him up for review? If there's no link between managers and results, right? Then what is in your mind then? It's only ever the players. The players on the pitch then is the bigger issue. So if the players on the pitch are the bigger issue, why do we still have the same people committing the same mistakes for 3 seasons in a row?
Yep.
And this is what I'm telling you, like they think we're stupid. They think like I don't even think that they believe what they're saying, some of these things. And with the Maresca thing is, again, it's what I said yesterday. A manager gets a little bit of self-respect, they start asking for things. And I don't think that that's crazy. And again, basically Maresca stepped out of line. He said, hey, why don't I get the same level of respect or say so as the sporting directors do, especially now that I won a trophy? And they're like, yeah, you're out the door, bro. That's not happening. Like you either walk, we're not giving you that. And he walked away. And again, them telling like, hey, at some point in time, we're going to be challenging. Like, bro, it's just so frustrating. Because these are things that we knew, especially we've gotten quotes even before saying that internally, like the owners, Iqbali, Clear Lake, they do not care about the protests. They think we're all dumb. They think we're all like wishy-washy anyways, like happy one day, mad another. And they don't care what we have to say. They're going to stick with their direction. And I don't see how we move forward as a club when this is what the people leading us are doing, and this is what they think at every level. Like the sporting directors think that they are better than they are.
Is this true?
That is
Also,
true.
I
You
got
can check
email from club today announcing
you
that they're
can check
making an official Chelsea fan club.
You can check their I think it was posted on officially on Chelsea FC. I'm not gonna lie, I think it was posted on their actual Twitter page that they're doing the fan club thing. But for me, when I look at it again, the things that again at the top level, you need to have a bigger wage bill for better players. That's just something that is 100% right. When we're speaking of we simply can't afford the likes of Semenyo and Guehi, I think what we're trying, or what they need to understand is we are not asking for you to we would rather take a swing on a Semenyo or a Guehi and be wrong than take a swing on 3 young talents and miss on all 3. Like there is just more patience for doing the right thing and getting it wrong than doing the wrong thing and losing out completely. Because in the Premier League, that is a very dangerous game to play. This isn't the French league. This isn't Brighton, right? You are not guaranteed nor cemented your spot at the top and your spot at the table just because of the badge, just because of the history. Look at Spurs, bro. They won a European final. They I think what, less than a decade ago, they were challenging for the Prem, right? Yeah. They made it to a UCL final. And look at where they're now about to be relegated.
Yeah.
So this is not something that you are guaranteed your place at the table. This is not the NFL. This is not the NBA. You don't get to tank. There is no draft lottery. There is no draft pick. There's nothing. There's no benefit to running your club poorly. You only get benefits for running your club positively. The only way you make money in this, in the Prem at least, is by being at the top level. That's it. You think clubs like even Brighton, bro. Brighton have made how much money on sales? Are they competing at the top level? No. Because at the end of the day, the only way that you are financially viable is if you are at the top. You are winning things. That's it. Like this sport is a money hole for every club other than the ones that are winning. And these guys just do not get that. They don't get that. And again, the whole thing about Luis Enrique would not be the right fit, etc., is because Luis Enrique would demand players. That's simple. And the John Terry thing is they do not want anybody within the management of Chelsea that are going to speak out about anything. Yeah, that's it. It's simple.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
They like if they let John Terry in, they know that he would say the club is doing this, is that, the same way that Ange did the interview, right? Like that's their worst nightmare. That is their worst nightmare. Like, you know how we got the Lukaku interview, right? That would be their Lukaku interview. Like if somebody within the organization came out and spoke on all the horrific things going in on the inside.
No, it's 100% like what you're saying. Like, and that's 100% why you know what it is? They want nothing to do with how Chelsea was built to the level that they bought it at. They want nothing to do with it. They want to do it their way because I'm more and more convinced that they see all of these players and all of these members of staff as shareholders in a company. And they just see the stock prices and they're trying to maintain, and they're trying to, speculation right now is not predicting that we actually go and buy this player. We can wait and do this and that. Like, they held on to that one window where Boli got, or not even Boli, but like they looked at that Lukaku situation, how the old ownership went for big name players and some of them would fumble, and the wage bill was through the roof because some of these players didn't hit. Raheem Sterling is another example, and they just used that to just beat over the heads of fans that this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. We've seen it. It's proven to not work. Our way is the way. It's stubbornness and complete lack of like self-awareness. And like, I understand not one way is perfect, but you can, if you hire the competent people, you can do it in a way where it's a good balance of up and coming talent you can flip for profit, and players that can come in now and currently give the team profit. Doesn't have to be one or the other. And it's just, again, the arrogance, like, again, like what we said, them getting into UCL, Maresca getting them UCL, Conference League, and whatever 200 mil, whatever that they got out of Club World Cup, that was a big band-aid over the situation. That was him just spackling and covering the cracks in the wall. And that band-aid came off when Maresca decided, I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm fucking gone. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the true colors are showing.
For sure.
And then this part too, yeah.
Bro, it's just again infinitely frustrating that this is what we're dealing with at this point in time when we know that I think it's blatantly obvious to anybody who has eyes what the team needs, what the club needs. It's not difficult. I think one of the things that I truly believe is that we no longer do anything about the eye test. Like there is no eye test with players anymore. They just look at the spreadsheet. They look at the stats. That's it. They don't see, okay, this player, you know, they're doing this in the league where this is that. There's no context to anything. They just take the numbers for what it is and just build off of that. And that's really worrying to me because we need somebody in, like, it's insane. We have like, I think 4 people directing our direction and none of them have the intelligence or the wherewithal to say, hey, listen, I'm looking at this and the team needs this, is that. There's no level head in the room. There's nobody who has any sort of wisdom on how to build a team, much less like a winning team, just a team. I'm not even saying like a competitive team, or this is that team, just a team. That's it. I'm not asking for miracles. I know we're not going to get it. Just a team. And we can't even get that right. And that for me is one of the most worrying things. And then obviously there's the second part, right? The little name drop. Obviously, I think they did it on purpose, right?
Yeah.
They did it to be inflammatory. I think Matisse is obviously getting thrown to the wolves here, but I'm going to posit something that maybe a lot of people aren't going to like, right? But it has to be said. Do I think Matisse is a brown envelope? No, I don't think Matisse is a brown envelope. I don't. However, is he an interested party? I do. Why am I saying that? Look at Matisse. I'm grateful for Matisse breaking into the mainstream and actually giving a voice for level-headed Chelsea fans, right? That is actually going to defend our club. However, he is obviously blue coat out, but you also have to keep in mind, he is also on Talk Sports. He's on Sky Sports, right? He's getting into the mainstream. And if you are in the mainstream, you have to be very, very careful with what you say, because if you are too negative, if Chelsea say, hey, listen, we do not want this guy on your programs anymore, guys, Chelsea have the power to make that not happen anymore, right? And you're gonna tell me, no, he's not checked his tweet, but this is my whole point with the tweet. Everybody's congratulating him. I ask just one simple question. It's one simple question, and if he answers it, fair enough, right? As a Chelsea content creator, right? Even if, right, with this tweet where he says, I think it clarified, they said nothing new, and everything that they said was something that he already did, right? He hasn't changed his positions, which is what I'm saying. I don't think he's a brown envelope. But ask yourself this: as a Chelsea content creator, right? As one of the biggest, if not right now, the biggest face of Chelsea content creating right now in the footballing world, you get unprecedented access and you get invited to speak with a sporting director and ask him questions and be told things face to face, right? Even if it is information that we already knew. It is not within your responsibility as a content creator, as a public facing figure, as somebody who poses himself as honest and transparent, to let the people know. I'm not saying, just say it. Hey, listen, guys, I had a meeting. I got invited to this meeting with the sporting direct with the Daniel, right, and with the director, I think of communications, I think he is, and he explained to me these positions. These are things I already knew. And again, this tweet should have been a video when it happened. My question is, why is he now coming forward with this information once it has leaked that he was there? That is my only. I just ask yourself this: why is he coming forward with this information now that it has leaked? Why did he stay silent? Why did he say nothing? Because even if I think as a fan base, we deserve to know this information. I'm sorry that you met with, again, this is unprecedented access, bro. Nobody is getting invited, like nobody from any other. You think AFTV is getting invited to by Arsenal directors to talk about stuff? They're not. They obviously know that they can't speak bad about the club because they want connections, and that's why you're a brown envelope. But the club is directly trying to say, like, listen, we're giving you access to one of our directors of communication to ask questions in a meeting. And you're telling me, and by the way, do not believe that Matisse is the only one that was there.
Exactly.
Do not believe that for 1 minute. It was Matisse and a lot of other content creators and influential people within this footballing world and sphere.
I'm sure.
So that being the case, why did not one of them, and even the people who were there now, just because Matisse was named, he had to come out and say that this happened. But a lot of other creators were there. I doubt that this was a one-on-one with Matisse. Okay, I doubt this was a one-on-one with Matisse. However, why is he coming out now with this information? Why did he not tell us before? I'm not calling him a brown envelope. I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm not. But this stinks to me. This stinks to me of you signed an NDA.
Yeah.
That this would happen and you signed an NDA and you were going to tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And so, right, you, again, if you're going to sign an NDA and you're not going to say anything, then you have to know that it is going to be suspicious, right? Then we are now going to look at you with a bit of a side eye because this is the club, this is the ownership that you criticize so heavily. And yet when in return for a little bit of access to the directive communications, you have now signed an NDA. And now you have come forward with this because again, and if there was no NDA, it's even worse for you because if there was no NDA and you could talk about it publicly, why keep it a secret until now that you met with them? At least saying like, again, you're telling me that this tweet wouldn't have been a good video to know? That this wouldn't have been a good video to say, hey, listen, guys, the club approached me and said, we're going to have you in a meeting with our directive communications so we can clarify our position. Especially because this was, you know, ongoing during the protests, right? We want to clarify our position. And so in the middle of all that, in the middle of the protest, in the middle of all this, you get access to the directive communications. You talk about all those things that I said, right? About the commercial things, right? Front of shirt, first team, multi-club, all these things that everybody wants to know. Vivid seats. Imagine, you know how big you remember how big the Vivid seats things were at the time?
Yeah.
And you're telling me you got firsthand, you know, from the mouth of the actual club, what is going on with these million different things. And just because it was in his mind, there was no new, again, there's nothing, I didn't mention it as there's no new information that we didn't already know.
Yeah.
You guys are going to question that for 1 second. Again, Matisse is my boy. I love Matisse, bro. But we have to be honest with ourselves. People I looked at the comments of the tweets and I'm like, nobody's questioning why he stayed silent.
Yeah.
Just because it was no new info meant you had to hide it. Because that's what it is, people. You just hid it from us that this happened. Unless he signed an NDA.
I think it's the latter, right? I think it's that, and to an extent, that's how they grip you, right? They give you the whole NDA situation, and they pull away their access as soon as you breach the NDA. So it's one of those situations where, from Matisse's point of view, if you want to think of it of like from a positive standpoint, it maybe is one of those situations where I don't want to lose this access. I still want to be the voice for the fans that can actually get in their ear and maybe make a difference that way, right? Like at the end of the day, this part of the tweet where he's stating everything that's been an issue is something that we've been wanting to get out to the ownership and tell them these are the issues, and this is, as far as I'm aware, this is the closest any of the fans have been to speaking or trying to actually get a word in with these guys who have, they're ghosts. 90% of the season, these guys are in the shadows. They're lurking. You don't see them. You don't hear about them. You don't hear interviews unless things are going good. That's when you start hearing the interviews. That's when they start coming out of their shell and speaking to the fans, and Bully's having press conferences and all this and that. Other than that, they're hiding in their fortress of solitude until Chelsea fans, you know, are happy and content and they can come out and they won't rip them to shreds. So it's like, it's messy, man. It's messy. I don't like this. I don't like any of this. And the arrogance coming from these directors, well, hopefully that arrogance gets dimmed down a lot, because I'm lacking words right now. Colossally. Because they need to go. They need to go. And at some point, if someone in your company is causing you to lose money that you put in charge of making you money, then you have to fire that person. That person has to be held accountable. Or you, as a business owner, are going to steer this ship to sink quicker. And it doesn't help that you are not trusted to make the right decision. Like, look at Daniel Levy, for example. To be fair to Daniel Levy, he actually was maintaining and hiding the cracks enough to keep Spurs viable. He wouldn't have hired Tudor. He wouldn't have waited to sack Thomas Frank. Like, again, it's just stupid decisions being made in this ownership. And giving these directors more an extension on their contract, huge lack of awareness of who the actual credit needs to go to. But yeah, man, this is just all crazy. This is all crazy.
Yeah. If Matisse signed an NDA, he wouldn't have posted that tweet. But then again, that's where I come back to, is if he didn't sign an NDA, why did he keep quiet for months about this meeting that happened in the middle of one of the most contentious periods of the season? Because this was what.
Oh yeah. Of course, this drops after the whole situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised it drops right now. But again, Matisse was under. Again, obviously the journals are doing it for a click. They're doing it for money. My question is, and I'm not accusing Matisse of anything. I like Matisse, bro. He's one of my favorite Chelsea content creators. I'm saying I have no ill will, but I'm inviting the people to question for themselves, why did he keep quiet about this for so long? Why did he only now come clean about this secret meeting that was had for nothing?
I hope this is the case, JC. And that's another thing too. I need to point this out. Never, first of all, in terms of the protests, right? Part of me, RSM, it's not that they don't care, it's that these protests have actually been a joke.
Facts.
Like, let's be real. Like, if it was like a real like protest where the fans are all on board and they fill up the bridge, then they'll probably start thinking some type of way. But the fact that we can't organize that at the Chelsea fan base, or even with these online fans that seem to have so much of a say, but then when it comes to actually showing up and actually trying to make a difference, they're nowhere to be found, i.e. the last protest. So there's that factor, honestly, where it's like, if you guys want to make a difference, and go out there and do something and actually show up and say something about it instead of just bitching and moaning online. But don't ever also try to convince me that these influencers don't actually have what is called their job, influence. So whenever I see these content creators say like, oh, there's no point in me promoting the protest because what am I going to do? Or what am I telling, if you can go, like, oh, promote, like, when the protests originally happened, they were getting criticized for not really pushing it or doing it. And their get out of jail card was always, oh, well, no matter what I do, it's not going to change anything. It's all depending on the match going fans, which to an extent he's not wrong about. Yes, we have 20,000 season ticket holders, but those people are online too. Like, I don't know, there's lack of an effort in the protest part of things as well. But seeing this, that now they spoke with Matisse, like, you can't tell me he doesn't have an influence. He has an influence. So they did it for a reason, and they opened up by saying they wanted to understand the protests. Who did they speak to? The guys who everyone watches that wants to do the protests.
Yeah.
So that's why I say Matisse isn't the only one either. Like, I agree with RSM. There's other people. Don't be surprised.
And the thing, there are other people, and they're being quiet about it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretending that they don't know. They're pretending that they're innocent. They're like, oh, I was never included. But they're capping, bro. They're capping. Yeah. They're capping. And this is what I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Is when I have to start questioning how many people in the Chelsea content creating sphere are just compromised. Simple. Like, plain and simple. Why are you compromised?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody loves to say blue clout, but the people that are telling you blue clout on YouTube, you need to start questioning: did they get invited? Did they get access? Were they part of this meeting?
Mm-hmm. Again, that's the part that's complicated. Shirchinho, like, there's only 20,000 season tickets out there. We have a 42K capacity stadium, I believe. 47K, one of those two numbers. If the fans, the match going fans don't buy it, someone else will. Those tickets always sell out. So as much as I agree with you, there's no ideal world where out of the how many millions and millions of fans we have across the world, that they will be part of the fan base that fill up 30,000 seats, however many seats we allow the away fans. So it's like, it's just not gonna happen. It's not as simple as stop going to the match, because other people will go. And to be fair to the people that go, the match going fans, the match going fans don't really care about the online discourse. A lot of it being because they are older people. Like, they just listen to Talk Sport and Simon Johnson saying, or Simon, who's the one that everyone doesn't like on Talk Sport? The really The one that says
Rory
Todd
Jennings.
Bowley's a great. No. Besides him, the one that everyone says. No, he said spoke to Todd Bowley. You think Todd Bowley's brilliant owner and Iqbali's a brilliant owner.
What, George Benson? I don't know who you're talking about, man.
No, the guy on Talk Sport wears the glasses. I don't remember.
No
Someone
clue,
in the
dog.
chat will know. Someone in the chat will know. You guys know who I'm talking about. Simon Jordan? Yeah, the Simon Jordan. So yeah. A lot of the match going fans are older people who still listen to Simon Jordan, and Simon Jordan is telling him things are great and things are fine and you need to be patient. Chelsea fans need to be patient. And so a lot of match going Chelsea fans are fine. They actually don't they laugh at people that were going for the protest because they think they're just spoiled kids or whatever the fuck. Like it's silly, but if more people show up and see how serious it is, then you start to convert people. You start to change people's mind. You start to actually show them like these are the issues going on in our club. It could be run a lot better, and then you can start reasoning with them. So again, it's a sticky situation where even the match going fans, you got to get them on board. But you can have more people that are online fans that have an issue show up as well. Fans that maybe don't want to give up their season ticket, are willing to sell it, or willing to just surrender it, whatever the hell, and start protesting against this. So that's part of the problem too. But you got any final words you want to say, RSM? Because I gotta head out.
No, that's it.
Yeah, man, that's a lot. We're gonna talk about it again on the weekend because I need a minute to like also digest this too. This is fresh.
I want to see how it develops, bro. I want to see how it develops.
Yeah.
If this actually starts a conversation with the
This
fan
is gonna
base
spiral
about
somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those situations. Like again, it seems like the same thing that dropped when Maresca walked away. The whole PR, the amount of it that spiraled out of control. I feel like we're on our way to the same thing. And when we get knocked out of UCL, you'll see like the peak of it. It'll be insane. But all right, ladies and gents, y'all have a wonderful night. We're not gonna raid out. Actually, we are gonna raid out. Also, I just realized, what the hell? Yo, Joey, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god, yo, YouTube. Wob Sport, thank you so much for the raid. Everyone that came from Wob Sport, be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And thank you so much for joining in. I mean, we're about to end stream, but if you want to catch the conversation we had today, me about PSG and the game and just Rosenior and what he's been doing, and then about the news that dropped today about all the things going on in the background that me and RSM spoke about. There's a lot there. There's a lot there, and it's a bit grim, I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna go ahead and just send you guys over to the Big Six. I think the Big Six is still going on. Let me just double check. And yeah, I gotta head out to band practice. I gotta do my thing. But y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Be sure to smash the like button as well. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Also, if you are a member, thank you so much. I hope you guys appreciate the memberships, and I hope you guys also, if you aren't a member and subscribed, have been watching the channel for a while, consider becoming a member because it helps out with keeping the lights on in the building. And if you are a proper casual and hired team member, we give shout outs at the end of every show. And that's going to go out to Lanre Sadiq, A. Suleiman, EE, Adrian, the MVPs, the man of the matches, the casually man of the matches, casualties of the match. We'll call you that. We appreciate you. So y'all have a wonderful time over on the Big Six. Hopefully it's a good show. I'm sure it's going to be horrible due to the nature of our loss. But hey, it's good content. But yeah, smash up the like on the way out. Smash the like on the way in as well for them. And we'll see you next time, guys. Have a wonderful night. Peace.